Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Efeni. Elder Emmanuel Efeni.
Good morning, Ruben.
Yes, good morning.
We start. Good morning, Tundu, and good morning, Rufai.
Elder, good morning, sir.
Ruben and I came in together late after battling with that traffic. Now, let's start the review with these day newspapers, Nigeria's newspaper of records. The lead story: despite clamor for power shift, PDP panel wants zoning scrapped. Overriding party interest will determine our next step, says Secondus. Of course, other newspapers are reporting this story. The leadership newspaper, PDP panel rejects zoning for 2023 presidency, asks party to throw contest open for competent candidates, lists reasons for party's loss in 2019. APC committee wants women, youth participation spelled out in own constitution. Yes, the PDP set up this panel to look at why it lost the 2019 election. Now, this recommendation, because the feeling and the general conversation is that power has to shift to the south first, because there's this gentleman agreement that power will shift between the north and the south. Of course, there's the additional pressure that power should also move to the southeast. But the PDP panel is having none of that. They are recommending that the party should scrap zoning. Of course, others are reporting that they have rejected zoning, but the meat of what the party panel is recommending is that the party ticket should be thrown open for all competent persons, irrespective of where you come from in the country, irrespective of your religion, your region, or your tribe. Be free to contest, and the party should pick the best man to fly the party's flag. But again, it is also said that there's pressure from the southeast and the northeast. I don't see how where the candidate of PDP came from in the last election was responsible for its defeat. I'm sure they should look deeper and other reasons so given. But it must also be stated that this does not preclude any area. It's a recommendation. Whether the PDP will eventually adopt this as its position ahead of 2023 left to be seen. I'm sure they will also be looking at what the other major party is doing. That's the APC, with a view to matching them. But we move on to other stories. Now, the Guardian newspaper, Nigeria's The Guardian newspaper, after 25 billion on maintenance, Federal Executive Council approves new $1.5 billion for Port Harcourt refinery. Federal government moved to rehabilitate refinery, one of APC's empty promises, says Nyesom Wike, the governor of Rivers State, in whose domain that refinery is located. Perhaps you expect him to be joyous, but he says this is not time to be ecstatic about this move. Remains to be seen, because there have been promises like that in the past, according to Nyesom Wike. Now, the Daily Sun newspaper, uproar in Senate over move to tame Buhari. Northern senators resist Armed Forces Commission bill. Southern lawmakers back plan. I don't know why they should look at issues on the basis of zone. Because tomorrow, Buhari will not be president. The president will come from the south. And the commission will just be there to do the job for which it is purpose, while looking at it from the prism of taming Buhari. But that was how the debate went yesterday. And of course, at the time, they had to go into closed closed-door session where the sponsor of the bill, Yinaya Abaribe, the minority leader, after that meeting had to withdraw the bill for now, according to him, in order to carry out further consultations. Now, the Punch newspaper, of course, still on the refinery maintenance. Experts carpet federal government over 568.5 billion naira vote to repair loss-making Port Harcourt refinery. Project wasteful, senseless, government beating dead horse, says economists. The NUPENG union commend government seek private sector participation. The New Telegraph newspaper, food security. Nigeria ranked behind poorer African countries. Import bill gobs $5 billion yearly. Well, with what is happening in the farms, with headers chasing and harassing farmers, killing farmers, this situation can only get worse if the insecurity situation is not dealt with speedily. Now, the Daily Independent newspaper, forex shortage may grind aviation operations to a halt. Airlines grumbles, delay, cancel flights. Now, of course, the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, also the story on the Port Harcourt refinery, the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, federal government to rehabilitate Port Harcourt refinery with 1.5 billion. Above the masthead, of course, there is the story there, two stories there. Violence in Ilorin over hijab, many injured. Government reopened affected 10 schools. I hope the governor in that state will deal with this matter with some maturity so that it don't cause unnecessary religious tension among the young ones, because this is happening in the schools and they may just grow up with that feeling. Many years ago, nobody cared where your religion come from. I can recall that the MKO Abiola attended a Baptist school in Abeokuta without any tension. Tundu, that for the records. Now, we move on to the foreign newspapers. The Guardian newspaper of UK. COVID jabs for under 50s delayed by a month due to vaccine shortages. Yes, this unexpected delay, there will be, of course, because there will be significant reduction in the weekly supply available from manufacturers beginning from the week of March 29. However, yes.
Emmanuel Efeni, unfortunately, we've run out of time. We'd like to thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.